Thank you for tuning in. We are Tristan and Michael, and you are listening to Fuse, transparent conversations for marriage, family, and relationships. We invite you to join us as we discuss perspectives that are thought about but not talked about. So tell your friends and family to check us out. Also, listen to us on WKCJ with Ron Heitch, Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Connect with us on social media and join the conversation by emailing us at info@fusedmarriages.com. All right, Michael, what are we getting into today?
All right, today we are getting into maybe a controversial topic.
Okay.
Maybe they all be controversial in some cases.
So we're told.
But today we're going to talk about conspiracy theories.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm into
Okay.
this.
You know, at one point we thought, the coronavirus was a hoax, conspiracy.
Yeah, that's what they
right?
said. Mm-hmm.
Right. They talk about, well, is it real? It's just like the flu. It's all the same stuff. Like, okay, but is that a conspiracy or was that reality? I think we're telling now it's like it was reality. Yeah. And not in my opinion.
Yeah.
We also talked about, or had some discussions in the news about, 5G is coming. And they saying, 5G is going to cause cancer? Has it caused cancer? Mm-hmm. We got all these phones and stuff and technology that's close to our bodies and it's causing cancer, this, that, and the other. I don't know if that's conspiracy or not. That may be actually reality.
Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting.
Right. It's very interesting. You know what I mean? Got to stay, in the know of what's going on.
Right.
And then, the one I like the most about conspiracy, did we land on the moon?
I think that's so fun.
I just that was in 65, 68? I can't remember the exact year. 1960 something. Mm-hmm. They said we landed on the moon.
They said.
I don't know who the they is. They said we landed on the moon. Uh-huh. And why come we ain't been back? That's a conspiracy. I don't care what you say.
I love it.
That's a conspiracy.
This is all of like our nerdy world that I think
that's
is interesting, and aliens and all of it. Yeah, yeah. So how does that relate to marriage, family, and relationships?
Right. So let's get the wheels back on the wagon.
Okay, because we could really go off.
We could go all the way off on it. So the conspiracy is, y'all don't beat me up when I say this. I'm just trying to start the discussion about it. Okay. The conspiracy is, a theory is, can you keep and make a woman happy?
That's not a conspiracy.
I'm sorry. What?
Can you keep
and
make a woman happy?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to hear your perspective.
So it's just like, I think a lot of men kind of maybe struggle with that. Right. Okay. And like, what? Can I make my woman happy? And can I keep her happy? Mm-hmm. Right. I think we do a good job of kind of like, maybe making y'all happy kind of that initial phase and kind of really getting a relationship and doing the things that y'all like. Mm-hmm. But we kind of struggle with like keeping y'all happy. And we don't often a lot of times know how to do that. And in my mind, it's like I don't know if y'all know how to do that.
Wait a minute. Back up.
Okay.
Because this is like a whole world right here. Because a lot of times what y'all do in the beginning, I'm just going to jump right in. Okay. I don't know where you're going, but I'm jumping right in
deep
here.
Into the pool. Let's go.
So a lot of times what y'all were doing in the beginning to make us happy, y'all stop doing. And then y'all say, well, I don't know how to make you happy. Well, you stopped doing the things that you were doing that were making me happy. And now you're complaining that I want you to do the things that you did to get me, to keep me. That's not a fair situation. It's not fair.
You know what? That's a good assessment and a good statement, a good argument, right? About, what? We do a lot of things on the front end.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Because if y'all, not all of y'all, some of y'all, if y'all did the stuff that y'all did after the I do before, there would have been no I do. You
right.
see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. I follow you.
Because a lot of times you do all these, y'all take care. Okay, y'all take great care in making sure that they're, whatever the love language is, and we've talked about love languages before, but y'all spend quality time, y'all wine and dine, y'all have the gifts, y'all remember the holidays, y'all do all the special things.
You do all that.
All of that. Yeah, and then somehow as the relationship progresses, those things start falling off. And then we only get the gifts on the holidays. We used to get them just, I'm thinking about you text.
Yeah, we fall off.
Oh man, hey, I thought I heard this song on the radio and it reminded me of you. And then it's like nothing except on Valentine's, Christmas, birthdays. And then it's like, wait a minute, this is not what I thought I was signing up for.
Okay. So we saying y'all get the bamboozled.
We get hoodwinked. Led astray.
I was saying all of it right. Right. So we saying we basically, men, we kind of come into the picture like, we the knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
But we really like Gargamel. You ain't know what Gargamel is. You ain't know what Gargamel is. The Smurfs, if you ain't never seen it, Gargamel is the mean.
We have kids.
Yeah. I don't know if they watch the Smurfs though. That's kind of
our kids watch the Smurfs.
Had they seen it?
Yeah, the Smurfs movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Do got a movie. That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So we like,
that's what we end up with.
Yeah.
And it's not that y'all are always bad all the time. That's not the thing. It's just that you don't put in necessarily the effort to make us feel special like you did before for no good reason. Just because I like you, because I'm in love with you, because you matter to me, I'm going to make you feel special.
Okay.
Those kinds of things are not as, don't happen as frequently as they did prior to. And then that's the complaint. The complaint isn't like, I'm not in love anymore. It's like, man, what happened? Why don't we get to spend quality time? And we mentioned we have kids, but that's still not an excuse, Like you still want to feel like a woman. You still want to be taken care of. You still want to be told, you're beautiful or you're smart or you're interesting, that you are a joy to be around. It can't just be like, well, that was before kids. Like, no.
Right.
That's not legitimate.
So is it sustainable though? So like, we do a lot of things. We being the men do a lot of things on the front end, like really to like get y'all, you know what I mean? Like to really, we trying to impress. Let's go on and keep it real.
Okay.
We taking to the nice dinners, you know what I mean? We bringing flowers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We trying to find all your favorite stuff. Maybe take you even shopping. Just trying to like, just like, hey, taking on trips.
Come on.
Just trying to like, we trying to impress because you know what? We want something, which is you. So we trying to really put our best foot forward.
Okay.
So is it realistic to expect a man to put his best foot forward the entire relationship?
Yeah.
Is that the expectation?
Yes. That's my expectation. Yeah. I think a lot of us, it's not that you always have to be doing, but there are different ways that you can transition making somebody feel special. Like maybe pre-children, you took trips. Well, now you can't do that, but you can plan some really nice date nights. You can plan some getaways. You can do some like, hey, I want you and your girlfriends to have some time together. I'm going to watch the kids. Like the way that you make a woman feel special might transition in time and with seasons. But it doesn't mean you stop making her feel special. It's just finding different and creative ways to do it. I think that's important. And your dad actually mentioned something one time. It's like what you did, you're right. What you did to get her, you have to do to keep her. That's what your dad said. True, yeah. And I think that's you can't do all these wonderful things and then just stop on either side. So if she was cooking you meals before, sisters, if you were doing all that before, you can't just be like, well, I just don't feel like it anymore. Like that's not fair either. Okay. So on both sides, it has to be like, okay. And it doesn't mean like, I've also heard like the, well, she looked like this. I can't stand this argument. I'm just saying, well, she looked like this before, and this is what I was attracted to. There are different things that happen. And I'm bringing up the physical part because that's such a real thing, especially for the woman. I don't know, maybe not especially. I don't know what it is for the guys, but that it's important to kind of like try. But it doesn't mean if you started off at, a 0 and then now you're a 10, that it should be like she's treated differently. Because though you're attracted to the physical part, you also should be attracted to something beyond the physical part. True. And I think that a lot of times like guys will be like, because they think that she's like, and I just don't think that's fair. I just flat out don't think it's fair.
Well, let's go back to because you're saying, because the guys, I guess we are visual, right? So we kind of, if we see something walking by, our head's gonna try not to turn. I'm not gonna say try not to turn. Well, you a man, so you know what I mean. You gonna try. You better try. You know what? Get your blinders on
You better
and
focus.
just try not to turn.
Okay.
But I think the issue with men, you're talking about, keeping a woman happy. I can go into about keeping a man happy. We'll talk about that on another episode. But just to touch a little bit on what you said is like, you know what? We just want a woman to not say, y'all got to be the same or stay the same. You know what I mean? For as a physical appearance, but like when you let yourself go, like it's like when you don't care no more. I think most men, okay, you know what? We're going to age together gracefully as much as possible. Right? Health stuff can come up, kids and stuff, we can like change the dynamics of that. But like when you stop, like, you know, women or somebody may, or a man for that case may stop caring. In case we're talking about women, because the men are visual, but like that, I think that's one of the issues when you're talking about the whole visual aspect of a man and what he sees.
Yeah, and I think that that's an important distinction that you're making. So when I'm talking about somebody gaining or losing weight, if, you know, she decided to go that direction, I think it's important that either way she's affirmed. Now, I am speaking specifically on if there's something medical, hey, she's had children or she's just aging, you know, different things happen with your metabolism, different things happen in your body. A lot of society is so image conscious that we are aware when things start happening with our body. And we don't want to feel less of a woman or less valued or less loved or like you're less attracted to us. Right. So yes, don't let yourself go, so to speak, whatever that looks like for different people. But also, I think it's important for men to understand, hey, there's a lot inundating us, particularly as it comes to something physical, what we aren't, what we should be. And we still want to come home and feel loved and valued. If our hair isn't done, our makeup isn't done, and we don't have our perfume on, we shouldn't have to do that within the house. No, you know, we going out, we doing something special. Maybe I'm trying to look cute for you and all of that. Or maybe I'm just trying to look cute for me. Hey, I want to feel good today. You know, I think it's just important that y'all give affirmations in the way that she receives it. If it's physical touch, if it's just words, if it's doing something special, providing, you know, gifts, flowers, cards, whatever she likes, we still want to feel those things that we felt when we were dating.
Okay. So that's one of the parts you're saying about basically, you know, how to keep, is a conspiracy theory about can you make and keep a woman happy? So some of the things you just mentioned about, you know what, you want to make y'all feel special. Yeah. Kind of bring in that same energy and vibe that we had when we first started dating or recording each other.
Stop? Here's my question. Why do y'all stop doing those things?
I think we stop because it's hard, right? It takes a lot of time and energy to do what, you know, some of that stuff. You know what I mean? So like, and then you got other life stuff, right? And your focus ends up shifting to like, okay, now that I got her, can I sustain the family? And it becomes like a financial goal. And I said, okay, you know what? I got this stuff. I got to work. I got to make sure these kids are good. You know what I mean? I got to make sure these bills are paid, the house and stuff. The focus goes to that. Now, if a man's focus ain't that, or he got everything taken care of, I think the excuses kind of dwindle a little bit as far as why he stops doing it. Maybe he's lost interest or something like that. You know what I mean? From, you know what, the energy and maybe the life issues have kind of overtaken the love issues.
I see that. I just think that what needs to happen from what you're saying, is that it needs to be an intentional behavior. It has to be something that you plan, because it just seems that prior to marriage, during the dating stage, things are planned. Hey, on Friday, make sure you block out your schedule. I'd really like to see you. I'd like to do this. And you have a plan. And it's, you know, sometimes we're just hanging out. Hey, you know, I'm just going to be at the house chilling. Yeah. But most of the time, it's like, okay, I got something special going on. You know, hey, I'm going to be with my dude, or I'm going to be with my girl this weekend. We going to go do da-da-da, or I got her da-da, or it's like you're looking for opportunities to invest in that relationship. And it's very, hey, I want, this is the prize and I want to win. I want this. And you do what it takes to get that. And then, you know, like from there. So taking intentional action, I think, is important. Preparing to please that person. And
I guess I give you, and as you were kind of discussing that, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, why do, you know, men, we kind of like, we fall off a little bit. That's to say we do. Yeah. Most of us do. There's a few guys out there kind of where they can keep it going and maybe even raise the bar as they kind of get deeper in a relationship. Most of us kind of like, we fall off. And I'm like, and it's, to me, I compare it to, it's like asking a woman to look like she's going out on a date every day after we got each other. Like, you know what? You know how much energy it takes for you to get ready, get prepped up. We're going to go out and look good and, you know what, go to movies or go to a play or whatever. And when we get married, you're like, okay, I want that same energy. You putting yourself together, looking up, what's that and the other, you know, when we 10 years in. Okay. And if that ain't happening, you're like, you falling off. And you want to say, I'm falling off. Well, we both falling off. Okay. You know what I mean? So it's just, I think about it that way. From if I'm trying to explain it to a woman, like, okay, it's hard. That's what I'm saying. When I say it's hard to keep that up when a man is trying to like He's opening every door, which is always that shouldn't be an excuse. Open the door. Should always do
Open
that.
the door.
You know what I mean? Some basic stuff you should always do. But
Walk
like,
by
you
the
know,
street.
but some of the extra stuff, you know what? Getting the flowers, the gifts, the thoughtful notes. It's like, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And like, you know what? You got to still have the same commitment, what you're saying, make it a priority. Say, okay, I still got to do some of that stuff on a consistent basis. Just, I think the women got to do the same, though. That's just my opinion. The same stuff, you know what I mean? Y'all was getting little nice lunch meals, you know what I mean? Bring them to the job.
It's not about weight. I want to make that distinction. Looking the.
Oh, no, I ain't talking about weight. I'm just talking about just looking. Yeah, let's make a distinction on that. I ain't talking about weight. I'm just saying just that you know, you getting prepped. You spend an hour and a half getting ready to go to an hour show. Now you spend 15 minutes, maybe. You know what I mean? And we ain't going nowhere. I want to say, hey, spend 20 minutes. We're just gonna be at the house.
Okay.
So it's the same, you know what I mean?
Men are visually stimulated.
Yeah, I mean, just one thing, you know what I mean? Looking at it, I was just trying to describe the best way I could to say, okay, why do men fall off? And it's like, man, it's a lot that we're putting into it. And is it reasonable to expect us to stay at that same level? I think that may be unrealistic expectation. That's just my thoughts on it. So I say, you know what? Nope, that's what I want. That's cool. Okay.
Well, I think that merits a conversation at the least. Like, hey, where are we? We mentioned it on a show before about checking in. You know, like, hey, just want to spend a little bit of time with you. We have, couples in our life that say like, okay, once a week or Thursday nights, they just sit and talk for an hour and a half and check in on, hey, how you feeling? How you looking? Sit close together and just look at each other. Just being together, being present, talking about what you need in a particular season or what's interesting to you, building up excitement. Because I know when you're dating and I'm going to get to see my dude on Saturday, you get excited. Like, so you have this anticipation about seeing him where it's like, oh, wow. And I think even that can be created in a marriage. Like, hey, this weekend, we're going to do something special. Right. Okay. What we doing? I got you. Okay. Yeah. We're going to do something special. And then you are anticipating those great times. Okay. Saturday morning, I got breakfast this morning. I want to make you breakfast this morning. I want to make you breakfast. I don't like to eat in the bed, but some people, if you want breakfast in bed, you do you, boo. Okay?
Crumbs and all. Give me the toast with the jelly on the sheets.
Can't do it.
Huh?
Can't do it.
I can do something with that jelly, though.
See? So extra. So anyway, so I'm just saying, building up the anticipation for the date times, for the times to enjoy one another. So it's not just necessarily about like you have to do everything that you did before, because like I said, different life seasons merit different conversations. But doing what you can to make that person feel special, doing some things intentionally to make the person feel special. Hey, one of my favorite dates that we've ever had, and I've talked about this, literally was probably the cheapest date ever. Yeah. Well, maybe not with gas prices.
Please remind me.
Maybe not with gas prices, but we took a dream drive.
Okay, yeah.
And
that's cool.
We just drove and talked and looked. I like looking at, houses and land and just dreaming like, okay, we would do this and we would do this. What do you think about this? And it was probably about an hour and a half or something.
Yeah, about an hour and a half. Yeah, it was good.
And that's all we did.
Yeah.
We drove. I think I always keep snacks, y'all. I like to snack. But I had some snacks in the car, and I think later we got something to eat. But we just drove and talked, and it was just such a moment of connection. It was so great just to be like, and we had little kids at the time. Having those moments to just breathe and be with your spouse and connect and love and to look at each other and to say like, man, I really like who you are. Yeah. I'm really enjoying feeling this closeness with you. So that might not be everybody's thing. So don't just be like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do for my girl, because she might not like that. I'm just saying, she might be like, what is this? Yeah. We wasting gas. So, but for me, that was something that was just, I needed the moment. I needed the break. I needed the connection. So maintaining that connection in different ways with your spouse. Now we can't have a dream drive every Saturday and that be something I'm like, okay, now I feel like you're just being cheap, Right. But you can do that every now and then, you know what I'm saying? So that's just something I wanted to throw out there. And I want to know hear from you all, is there something that you have experienced in your marriage? Hey, this really helped us. Or, hey, you know what? We haven't done some things in a long time. Why? Fellas, I want to hear from you. Why not? ladies, I want to hear from you. Like, what is it that you need? info@fusedmarriages.com. All right, so hit it up, Michael, because I'm really curious as we're kind of having this discussion. This is kind of about making sure that you're happy and you're enjoying your marriage, because marriage is so much work, but it shouldn't be just work. It should be fun and exciting and interesting, right?
Yeah, I think we talked about a lot about at least the first topic point. We were kind of really understanding, okay, what makes a relationship, what kind of makes it happy, right? What makes a person happy in a relationship? What makes the relationship like this happy couple, right? And we kind of talked about the aspects of doing some of the same things and finding little getaway moments and stuff like that, right? So it kind of like, you almost got to build whatever your culture is for your relationship to make you happy. Everybody's different, you know what I mean? It could be us going to a game or going to a musical. We do both ends of it, right? And really kind of find the balance of what that looks like. But there's also like, you know what I mean? Okay, that's the happy part, right? As far as like what makes the couple happy. But is it possible, this is a question we can kind of talk about, a discussion we can talk about, to be unhappy and to have someone to make you happy? So you get into a relationship and you're not happy. Can that person help you become happy or provide happiness for you?
Wow.
What do you think about that?
I think that's a really layered question. So I don't think that anybody can make you happy. I think that's like a very, okay, so I want to make a really odd distinction, but there's a distinction for me between like a happiness and joy, and sometimes they're used interchangeably, but the way that I'm talking about it, I think happiness is like an external thing, and I don't think somebody can provide in your world happiness. They can add to your world, and joy, this is a very internal, personal, hey, everything out here can be something out here and I can still be okay. Right. And maybe that's not how everybody defines joy, but it's that kind of stepping through with confidence, being pleased with me in the moment. And I don't know that somebody else can give that to you. I don't know that another person can say like, okay, I'm going to give you joy or I'm going to give you happiness. I think joy is internal. It's something that you possess. It's between like you and the Lord. It's just you. And then happiness that's an external thing, but I don't know that somebody can give you happiness. I think that that's still an action that comes from something internal, a behavior that comes from something internal. I don't know if that's
you helping me.
I'm clear.
I got something to say, but go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to say?
No, go
okay.
take your
time. So I think that joy you have to have, it's being at peace with you, it's being pleased with you, it's being comfortable in your own skin, and being centered. Knowing your worth, knowing your value, and then from there, behaviors of happiness can happen. I think that somebody can add to your happiness. I think somebody that can distract from your happiness, but I don't think somebody that is unhappy can be made happy by someone else. I think that somebody can give you the tools. I think somebody can assist you, but I don't think that they can make you happy. I think somebody that is unhappy with them and unhappy in their circumstances and has a lack of joy can not meet some dude or some chick and now, okay, I'm happy, because that's such a temporary thing. Because life is going to go up and down, up and down. Things are going to happen. And if it's that person that's sustaining you, what happens when that person is out of town? What happens if that person passes away? What happens if you go through a challenging season where you're not connected? Are you not able to be happy anymore? Are you not able to find joy anymore or have joy? So I think that that's a real, like I said in the beginning, I think that's a really layered question. What do you think?
No, I was listening real closely, you know what I mean? By the way, like none of this is really scripted out, so we don't really necessarily go through some, here's what we're going to say, here's what she's going to say. I don't know what she's going to say. So I'm like, I have a question. Literally, I have a question. You know what I mean? So I just want to say that to be upfront. But like, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, if we follow a logic you just said about, okay, another person can't make another person happy, they can add to it. So in a relationship, you hear often at times, we're talking about women conspiracy, in this case, conspiracy theory, can you make a woman happy? A woman may say, you know what, now I'm unhappy in a relationship. Like, whose fault is that then? Is it the spouse's fault, or is that the woman's fault? Is it your husband's fault that you're not happy? Because we just said that another person can't make you happy. They can add to it,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't make you happy. So is it actually the responsibility of the man to really make sure the woman stays happy? I think it's responsibility of the man, if we go by the logic we just talked about, what you just said, to add to it, but he can't take away from it or make her happy.
I think it might be a colloquialism. So like, if you're saying, not that it's not true that, okay, I'm unhappy in this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it can influence how you perceive life. And based on that influence, then, okay, I don't like how I'm feeling.
Right.
Because I think happiness is a feeling thing. I think that joy is internal.
Yeah.
I think that as I'm acting out my happiness, as I'm acting out this internal joy, particularly if you partner with somebody, they can influence. They can have like this okay, so I'm gonna describe it like this. Okay, so when you are in a relationship and you were happy before you got there, you were good. And I know people, hey, I was good, single, I'm straight, I enjoyed my life. And then you hook up with somebody and you're like, okay, I like them. Cause I use the make, I'm going to come back to this, but the make, it's like, you can't like, oh, they make me happy is like, it goes into the same kind of jargon that we're talking about, the colloquial terms. But so I got into this, oh, I really like him. I enjoy him. He makes me happy. So that, again, I think it's more talking about activity. It's talking about engagement. So when somebody makes you unhappy, we're still talking about activity and engagement. Hey, I'm not enjoying this relationship anymore. I don't think that that's necessarily saying like, I'm unhappy, but I do agree. I do think, like, this is very interesting to me, but I do think that somebody can so influence how you feel externally, the activities, what we're doing together, that can affect your inside. And this might be for some a reality where they have been or might be in a relationship that's oppressive, that's abusive or hurtful, where things can influence how I feel about me. So that can, I want to be sensitive to this because there might be some of you that are in this and saying, hey, how do I work through this? Those kinds of relationships where somebody is just intentionally causing harm, or even unintentionally just really like neglecting or being hateful or hurtful. I think that those can affect how you feel about you. And then that's an internal. It's taking, hey, this person did this person said this, and now I'm internalizing it, and I'm not okay with me. That sort of thing is really dangerous, because I think that, it's so sticky, but that the other person can really cause long-term harm.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It's definitely, I got to be sensitive to like the abuse part as well, because it's like, I wasn't necessarily thinking about the abuse part of it, but some people are just, are looking for somebody else to fulfill them in a way that, that may be unrealistic. Because you and I, we know, at least a couple of couples where, we know where, the one person, they don't do the same things, but like the other person, like, okay, I'm good. You know what? They don't want to do that. I'm still like, they're fulfilled. They would love the other person to kind of come along and do other things with them, but they actually, in their mind, have kind of made the decision to say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna be okay. And you can see it in how they move around, like, they're okay. Yeah, could the other person add to that? Yeah, but they actually are, like, how did he do that, right? Did they make the decision that, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna be happy, and this person really is gonna add to it, but they can't take away from it, regardless of what they do.
So do you think that if a person stops doing something that the other person enjoys, like you like a certain thing and they stop doing it, that's fair?
No, I don't think it's fair. I think that's definitely a discussion. I don't think that's fair or right to say, you know what, you just stop without reason or cause. Okay, maybe you're busy, you forgot, or whatever, you got mixed in some other stuff, or
because part of why you connect is that you like the behaviors of the other person.
Oh, absolutely. But people change, right? Sometimes, you know what? Yeah, in this case, he may have liked it, and at some point he may stop liking it. And he never discommunicated that.
Okay.
Oh, he was just doing this to make you happy. You know what I mean? Like some women in this case, they may watch, sports with their dude to start off with. Yeah. And 10 years later, they like, I didn't like no football.
I know some women that were like,
yeah,
we didn't really like it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, why'd you?
Yeah, so unspoken stuff.
I guess so.
You're listening to Fused with Tristan and Michael.